Pkosing.
Thank you, Speaker. And my question, Speaker, this is the most interesting candidate before us on this committee. And this is the reason why I'm saying, Speaker, I've heard him very clearly, and for the whole of his life, now it's remaining with 3 years for him to attain retirement age, only 3 years. He has never worked in public service at all. Anywhere, he's not worked in public service. He's not been motivated or what? And in getting the suitability speaker and following what Honorable Julius said.
He's currently the chairman of Kengen.
Just the other day, Speaker, that's something just the other day. In terms of suitability, Honorable Speaker, in accordance with Section 7, which I want the candidate to be able to explain to this committee and maybe to convince me, what motivation has he in public service now, 3 years to his retire, while he was not motivated for the rest of his life, when he was very, very useful. Remember, Honorable Speaker, I'm not saying that he's not useful any longer. But to attain retirement age is only 3 years. Was that a headhunting or was that a reward? I want Mr. Miko to explain to this committee and the people of Kenya. This is not a joke ministry, as Honorable Julius said. I don't know what it's to call. And you are coming in during a time when there is complications on CBC, funding, teachers, and so on. And you have never worked in public service. So my question is, what motivates you now at your retirement age to work in public service, Honorable Migos, for us to approve you? What is it? Convince me.
Let's take the next. Kikaria.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe my question to the nominee is, basic education faces so many challenges, one of which is capitation and the additional fee charged by schools. Secondly, there are those issues that arise because of the school feeding program. How do you plan to address these challenges to ensure timely disbursement of capitation funds and compliance with the Act provisions to eliminate additional fees, thereby ensuring accessible and inclusive education for all Kenyan children? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me start with Honorable Gikaria's question on the basic education issue of capitation. The problem of capitation, or the issue of capitation, is a problem that is of a national nature. It is an issue that arises from the fact that we do not have enough resources in the country. In fact, in the capitation model, the government was supposed to do 80% of capitation to the schools. But at no time has it ever been able to give that figure either on time or in total. So there is a challenge in the money coming to the schools for them to be able to undertake their programs on time. So one of the things that may be brought to bear so that that problem is resolved would be agreeing with Treasury through Parliament that the sums of the budget of the ministry be ring-fenced, because it's a sensitive ministry, so that it gets released on time and released in totality. That is one of the ways that we can resolve the weakness in that particular area of capitation. There are programs and there are policies in place that do not allow the teachers in schools to raise or to give extra fees or levies from the parents. But there are some principals or some teachers or some schools that flout this particular requirement or this particular regulation. So therefore, what we would do is to ensure that we have a strict implementation of those policies by ensuring that we have a watertight disciplinary mechanism for those who actually flout those particular regulations and policies. On the school feeding program, it is a program that was rolled out by government to cover the ASAL counties where there are difficulties of getting food, and also the informal settlements in some towns. And it is currently covering 26 counties. We have a coverage of about 2.6 million children. And it is a program that has to be continued because it helps the students to be retained in school, and it helps them to come, and continue being in school. So what needs to be done is to come up with programs and policies that allow intergovernment agencies, for example, Kenya Meat Commission or the Cereals Board, so that we can utilize the amounts of money we have to be able to reach more children. It's a program that the government wants to continue, and it's a program that if I was nominated, I would continue to pursue. On the question of retirement age, I am not yet on that.
It's irrelevant. There's no age limit for a minister.
There's no age limit.
Mary?
Thank you, Chairman. I want to pick up from where...
Honorable Speaker. That question of age was building my question. And I was asking, what is his motivation in joining public service?
Yeah, let me answer about motivation, but not age.
Yes.
But nobody
There's
asked
no
about...
age limit provided in
Exactly,
any law
Honorable Speaker, but I'm also aware.
on being a minister.
That is true, Honorable Speaker, and I don't know whether you got my...
You say
question.
he has never worked in public service.
So I was
What
now...
is motivating him at this age to accept to be appointed?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for that question. Let me just say that the job that I've been doing as an advocate and working in this country, I have also represented public institutions, so that it can't be argued that because I was in private practice, I have not had any motivation to work for the public. I've also done pro bono work for a lot of public institutions. As I indicated earlier, I've also doubled up in politics, running for parliament, and it's because I wanted to be or to work in the public sector and to assist a lot of the things that I see happening. So it's not true that I have no motivation to work in the public sector. And as I said, I'm currently the chairman of KenGen. We have done a lot of public programs. We've been able to resolve a lot of the issues that were there pending, ensuring that for the last 1 year, our plants have been 95% available, meaning we've been able to produce electricity at that level without it going below 90%, meaning I've been actually doing some work for the public.
Mary?
Thank you, Chairman. My question to the nominee is on free and compulsory basic education. The Act provides clearly that every child, up to 11, should have free compulsory basic education. And Section 2082 mandates the Cabinet Secretary, in consultation with the National Education Board, to ensure the establishment of all learning institutions, be the primary, the secondary, special needs, name them. But despite all these provisions, the Kenyan parent is still waiting to see this provision coming